What's up, squad?
What's going on?
Hey, what it do? What it do?
Oh, it's all good.
Gosh, we're missing somebody.
Miss Janine.
Janine, Janine, where art thou? Where art thou? Well, our girl is in Georgia actually filming a short film. She's working hard and we miss you, girl. She'll be back with us next week. So, she'll have a great report to tell us about her work. But other than that, how's everybody doing? Rick, what you been up to for the week?
This week I've been crazy busy. I think Pastor Hosea
busy.
said he was busier than a one-armed man in a painting contest.
He said a Hebrew stage.
That's what he said. I'm just going with what he said. And I was just as busy this week too.
Okay.
But thank God we're here. I'm excited about our show today.
It's another hot one. Another hot one. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Hosea.
It really is.
Hey, that was last week. I was busier than a one-armed man hanging wallpaper. This week, I've been busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest.
You ain't
I was going to say that too, there, but I didn't want to.
You didn't kick many butts if you just got one leg. Well, that's good. It's good. Isn't that a good thing? You busy? Y'all busy? That means you're hard. You're working for the Lord.
Old man says, son, it's better to wear out than to rust out.
My Lord. Okay. I don't want y'all, thanks for not helping me out with that song. But anyway, guys, what's up, everybody? This is your girl Z. Welcome to Ships. This is the relationship show where we chronicle the difficult and hidden world of true to life relationships. Guys, we had an amazing season 2. And as you guys remember, we are now starting with the dating part. So excited. And our first blind date, of course, was with Kevin and Ashley. And as you know, for the last 2 episodes, we kind of talked to Kevin. We played the date. So we're going to update you guys who didn't catch the last 2 episodes. And if you haven't, go back and watch a little bit of the date, but we're going to replay it in this segment. Also, Ashley was a beautiful, beautiful girl that went out on this date. So what I want to do is play just a little bit of a snippet as to what some of her, issues she's been dealing with in the dating scene. And of course, the squad jumped in and, kind of gave her what we thought would be helpful advice. So let's go ahead and play it. Can we play it or do I have to play it on my end?
You have to play it on your end.
Okay, let me play it. Okay.
Time with her. And one of the things she would always say to me was, Ashley, I ain't never seen nobody can't get no boyfriend. I'd be like, God, dog. But if I'm being honest, it's because of the first relationships that I seen when it came from my parents and even my grandmother. She wasn't, she passed at 96. She was almost 97, but she had also been divorced a couple of times, and so I see it didn't work for her. So I'm struggling with that. So now, and then another thing, God has put me in a new tribe. And my new tribe, everybody is married. So now they want to get together and they want to have these game nights and they want to hang out outside of the church. And I'm like, okay, but I don't got no partner. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't even feel like the third wheel. You feel like the 10th wheel because the 11th wheel because everybody it's just crazy.
Right.
To be honest, I don't know where to start or to finish. Like, it's just like, oh, I just try not to think about it, honestly. Like, I just try not to think about it.
Okay, so that's just a little snippet of what Ashley was talking about with her dating. And she was, of course, speaking of her grandmother who passed away, and that's who she had the conversation with. So let's just play a little bit of her date. She was looking gorgeous, as usual. So let's just fill people in on it.
Let me see if it's going to play here.
We can hear it, but we're going to get us some video real soon.
Let me see.
And was it a blind date or a black date? All I saw was
blind date. Kevin was so cute, y'all. He got on his turtleneck. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for them. And they had so much fun. And this is all we're trying to do is to, and I'm learning myself, everybody, is how to date and have fun. And I learned that from the Pastor Hosea Collins.
I'm not sure why the video isn't playing. I apologize, everybody. It's just
Satan used a liar.
I'm gonna try to reload it. I'll try to reload it as we.
I reloaded.
But guys, from what we remember from the date, of course, with Kevin, Pastor, one of the things that you said that resonated with me years ago was dating and having fun.
Yeah,
And
man. I think that sometimes. Okay, we
oh,
finally.
we'll bring
Yeah,
it
yeah,
up.
we'll get there. We'll get there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that sometimes. Well, I'll use you for an example. You
Go
was
ahead.
expecting to know if this was your husband in date number one, and
Yeah.
you would interrogate him as if he was a suspect in a murder trial or something.
I wasn't that
I
bad.
was like, this
Oh,
No,
that,
I wasn't that bad.
that sounds like somebody. It's an interrogation. It was like a Perry Mason
No, I
interrogation.
was not interrogating them like that.
Oh
I
my
would
gosh.
just ask general questions like, if you're married, how many kids you got, stuff
What's
like
your blood
that.
type? How's
It's
your
the
credit?
not-
you would pull out your list and just start at the top and work
Yeah.
your way to the bottom.
Yeah. By the time, but like
It
in the
was,
middle
you,
of the
you
day,
were
the guy's
not a
running out.
fun date.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Ashley showed me how to be a fun date. So
Oh, is that what
let's go
happened?
ahead
Oh,
and play
now
some. What she
you know how
did.
to have fun.
Yes, now I know how to have fun. She and Kevin showed me what to do. So
I'm
let's
gonna play
play
this video. Come
All right,
on.
let's see.
the video. So Ashley's getting in ballet, y'all. And walking in. Look at that smile.
I didn't recognize you, Ashley. By the way.
Look at
We'll
that
talk about it.
smile. And when she turned that corner, y'all, watch that throw of that hair.
No, but what?
That's how you do it, y'all. That's how you do it. Now throw the hair back. That's the
Did not flip her hair.
smelling good. Got it going on. Going inside of the restaurant. And Kevin doesn't know that she is the blind date. So his face is first. Dr. Hosea is all up in the kitchen. He's excited.
We're hiding in the corner, literally in that corner, far right.
Right. And now they're about to leave.
Their reaction is priceless. Seriously.
You cannot make it up. You cannot look at that. Just he happy. He happy. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. When that hair grow. That's right. When you sit down, y'all got now. My hair is short. But y'all just do that too. Bring that hair back. Sit down. That's right. Flip it on back. Boy. Get that stance on. I'm learning, y'all. Very ladylike, very pleasant conversation.
It reminded me like two high schoolers meeting.
Yeah. So now they're going over and just talking to the squad. There's Janine and Gary. Just kind of like, what's up, y'all? How you doing? But you can tell by their energy and their smiles that they had a really good time. And like Pastor said, it's not about just a love connection. It's really just about having fun with each other. They went to karaoke, which is upstairs, I believe. He said, if this is love by
Right. If this isn't love by New
This isn't
Edition.
love by New Edition. It's this karaoke song. He's
Yeah,
very
they had the
comfortable.
smoke mist, the whole 9 yards for him. The bubbles.
Look at that hand, y'all. When you're serious, Pastor, when you do.
He had great stage presence. And
Right.
here's that, killing it.
There's Ash. Ash got her 1-2 step. See, this is what I like about this. Because they talk about me and my 1-2 step. Ash got her 1-2 step on, and I feel like very much at home.
Well, I'll say this. I think hers is on beat.
Well, mine will be on beat too.
I don't know.
I'll do my 1-2 step on beat.
We'll see.
A lot of fun, a lot of energy. Not worrying about what people think. Really being themselves. Oh my gosh, I love this.
Yeah, that was this ship date night. Yeah. That was
Bring her
dope.
on up. Bring her from backstage.
What's up, Ashley?
Hey!
Hey.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Girl,
Yeah.
I've been having so much fun. So much
Listen.
fun with y'all. You have really taught me some stuff, Ashley. Seriously.
Really? What I teach you?
Just about dating. Pastor, he was a little bit over exaggerating, but not by much. Not by much, but he was
Tundra was a boring date.
I wasn't a boring date. When I
She
got to
learned
know
how to
you,
have fun watching you.
Aw.
Look,
did.
Hosea told me about your dates, and I'm like, yo.
Oh no.
but I did. I have to admit, I went into it differently, and I had to learn how to date. So that's why, one of the reasons why we even started this podcast or this video podcast was just to really get people to know. First, we need, of course, learn ourselves, but to have fun and enjoy. And it's not always a love connection. Sometimes it's just a good friend, and just enjoy the moment, which is what you say, Pastor. Enjoy the moment.
Yeah, see, the secret that you're missing, this is how you find out if there's a connection. By allowing it to happen organically. When you're trying to force something that may or may not fit, it's not even that. What's the fun in that? Like by relaxing and being you allows you to see if there's something there. Yeah. So actually, we can't wait to hear your perspective about it.
So tell it. Give us a tea.
Let me just say, first of all, I just learned something myself because, well, anywhere I'll go, I'm gonna have fun. That's just me.
That's what I do. That's how it's supposed to be.
But I didn't even realize that about myself. But I did really enjoy myself, though. I will say that.
Okay.
I had a good time. I was like, But he was trying to do me up, and then when his little performance, he was trying to show me out. I'm like, come on now. So I went up there and I just gave him the Fantasia, not the voice. When she
right.
When she take off her shoes before she sing.
Yeah, right. Like Tyler Bell Fantasia thing. Girl. So actually tell me, so what was, if there was anything different about this date as opposed to the date you've gone on in the past? Was there any difference?
Well, one, me already having a relationship with Kev. So you guys don't know this, and I just told Pastor this not too long ago. But me and Kev actually went out before.
I had no idea.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had got some tickets to a basketball game, and then I seen some of the church members there, and then I guess I was talking about it at church, and Kev was like, "Oh yeah, I get tickets to such and such." So he had asked me if I wanted to go to one of the games, and I was like, "Yeah." But it was I brought my son with me so he could see it. So,
right.
Yeah, we hung out. It wasn't really
go out. That was like pretty much you guys all hooked up together.
They hung out.
Like,
no, it was just me, Kev, and Aeon. It was just me, us three.
Okay. So what was different about this date as opposed to that one or that hangout?
I will say the difference between then and now was we had to engage more. Like at the basketball game, we didn't have to engage. I ain't gonna lie, we didn't have to engage much. So it wasn't too much. It just felt like we were hanging out. This time we engaged a little bit more. We already have conversations and stuff. So we just continued on like we already been friends. So just to be able
talking about this, Ashley, you guys had like a 2-hour straight conversation.
It was because we already have conversations that, it wasn't nothing new to us. It was kind of like, we always hang out. We always talk. We always, so I think for the both of us, it kind of felt comfortable.
That's good.
That is.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the difference between hanging out or going on a date with someone like Kevin versus the type of guys you've went out with in the past?
Good. That's good.
You said what's the difference?
Like she like night and day. No, go ahead.
No, it is.
It probably is night and day.
Yeah, it is. I normally go out with the guys that I'm like heavily attracted to. I'm like, oh my gosh, Lord help me.
Right.
But in this situation, it was just like I've never dated anybody that goes to church with me. Like I don't.
Wow.
Never did. I've never talked to anybody in my church, and I'm kind of like that with my job and stuff like that too. Like I don't normally, mingle that type of way with, and I have to, if it's something that I hold is the highest esteem to me, then I won't just, date somebody. But I've never dated anybody who was actually, I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna say I never dated anybody that go to church, but that's lying. I'll be lying. But no, it is different. And also I had to learn some things myself, right? Like you said, when you're dating, before you see about any type of connection like that, you just want to see if y'all can even, be friends first. Like, can y'all have conversations.
Right.
Can you be friends first? So I would say that was the difference for me.
Okay. All
Kevin's human. He is.
These cool people. Okay.
Yeah.
So what lessons have you learned from this dating experience that you're going to take into your future dating experiences?
Not to allow Pastor's head and I say they can't be there. But
Come on now. They chaperones.
yeah, it's like
Chaperones.
Hold on, Ashley. Hold on, Ashley.
like
First of all, it was my birthday.
It was Rick's birthday.
It was my birthday.
That's the excuse.
It just so happened.
It just so happened we ended up there.
I don't know about all that. I
Come
don't know.
on now.
Literally
It
like
was
two
his
tables
birthday.
away
I
from
could
you.
have said it was his birthday, but you ain't have to be there all up in her.
Oh, we was all up in their business. He had his hat over there in the corner. I was like, what's going on over there? They was having too much fun. They was cutting up.
We
Wow.
did have fun. Though.
Gosh.
We did
Hey,
have
I have another question.
Mhm.
What?
Do you think, after just having a nice little time with Kevin, that it may open up or cause you to broaden your horizons as it relates to the type of guys you date? Like maybe after this date, do you think it may be a possibility that you would go out on a date with someone who's not your normal, previous, dominant alpha male, 6'5", look like he either just got out of professional sports or the pen, whichever one got him from. Like you think
Come on, Ashley. Ashley, like, a good looking man.
First of all, okay.
Ashley, 6'5", big feet, dark skin, muscles. That's you?
I'm pretty short, so I like them really tall.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I never understood that. Why a 4-footer want a 6-footer?
Okay, I'm just explaining to y'all. Now that Aeon's here, I've changed my theory, but I don't know. It's still like at the top of my list. Aeon, so I always had a fear of like if I'm only 5'2", and then I get with someone and marry them, and they're like 5'5", then our kids are gonna be like 5 foot, not even 5 feet.
Let me have some
Might not.
So and then for a man, it's like I don't want him to have Napoleon nothing. So, so I always was particular about that. Like, no, I don't know about no short man. I don't know. But I will say, as long as now I've changed it. So at first he had to be like a certain height or whatever. But now I feel like as long as he's taller than me, Jesus, because
I have a question. This is somewhat serious. How much of a role does the potential person that you want in your life has to play in your son's life? You're a single mom.
Yeah.
What does that look like to you? And this will help a lot of women, I guarantee you.
This is a big thing for me because of me being able to see patterns of my parents' decisions and stuff like that, and even in other people's relationship. Even now, you can watch all kinds of forensic files and stuff and see crazy stuff that people do to people's kids. And they've been with them for years and years and years, Right. So for me, I don't like if a child voice their opinion about the person you're dating and you ignore it. That's a big turn. Like for me, that's a big no-no because what my son feels like, I actually dated a guy and my son met him and he said, Mom, he mean. And I was like,
oh, wow.
For him to pick up on that easily, like, for immediately my guards went up because now I'm like, if my son can see that, I don't want to find out what it looked like later. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big thing for me. If my son don't like who that person is, even if I like that person a lot, I'm like, yep, not gonna work.
So that's a deal breaker. That's definitely
it is a deal breaker because it's like, my kid at the end of the day, he come first. So no, I'm not playing that game.
You have a beautiful son too. You have a beautiful son.
Yeah, and let me say this so that people know. So just to give perspective, And how old is your son?
He's 7. He
See, I didn't want nobody to think he's 17.
Right.
And they're like, oh, my 18-year-old. Hey, that nigga gonna go get a job.
Just to be clear.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rick. You said just to be clear. Go ahead.
No. That was just reiterating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing for me.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So with this dating experience with Kevin, are you now going to actively continue dating like how you dated him, in the sense? Are you going to use that pattern, I guess is what I'm trying to say, as you go forward?
I wouldn't know about a pattern. I'm like, I wouldn't know about a pattern, but honestly, I realize how much I honestly, I would go on more dates for fun.
Okay.
And if something were to transpire from that, but ultimately I wouldn't say that it's something that is at the forefront of my life right now. So it's not something that I'm like actively pursuing.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. In the meantime, if something comes, hey, then I'll go on a date, but for the most part, it would be for fun.
You definitely want to eventually marry, correct? That's something that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But right now,
it depends on which day of the week you ask her.
No, that's not true. Don't say that. Don't say that.
I personally thought after the date y'all had that y'all be married, like Pastor Jose.
Okay, that was just 2 weeks.
You guys would be in Pastor Jose's office. Yeah.
Hey, Ashley, can I share this?
Yes.
It's been a while back. One day we were in my office, me and my wife, and I don't know if I'm getting ready to go out and preach or go teach Bible class, something, and she's checking me out. She checks me out, make sure I'm straight. And I guess she was like, "What? Hold on, baby. Hold on. Wait a minute. What you got something in your nose?" And she went in there and got it out, and she was like, "Oh no, I'm never gonna be a wife. Did you just go get a book around this? No, I can't do that.
Listen,
that's what being a wife is about. I don't know. You could miss me.
Man out there with a big green one hanging out his nose ass.
Yeah, no. I've been there, Jose. I was going to say, actually, listen. This is training ground on what you're seeing right there.
There you go.
What happens?
And watch this. Let me hit her with perspective, Rick. Watch this.
Go ahead.
So, Ashley, you're gonna tell me if you done pulled up to the school and Ayon getting out, and you check him out, and you don't see.
You're nothing but big kids.
We just big babies.
We big old babies. That's all we are.
Pastor Jose did explain that to me one time. He said, "You know how you treat." He said, "You know how you do with AI." He like, it's the same way.
It's the same way.
And at first I was like, "No."
To take it a bit further, if you for real about being a wife, and I'm speaking on Pastor Jose's behalf here. If you ain't patting his head,
I know they're like little puppies.
Don't play with me.
Y'all like little puppies.
You better talk to First Lady. Jose, your wife needs to give a class. I'm not playing. First Lady to give a class, sir.
Hey, I remember when I first moved out here, y'all. This would have been, I've been out here 16 years now. This summer makes 16 years. So this is about 15 years ago. I'm at a big family function, man. My cousins, all around, and they're serving, and we playing dominoes. And my wife, that time, Precious, she comes to me, everybody in the kitchen fixing their plates, and we still outside. And she brings me a nice, healthy plate she made up, bring me a soda or whatever, punch, whatever we had,
You listen to
that? I remember all the men at the table looking like,
yes, sir. Yes,
when
sir.
can I get one of those?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I wasn't tripping because that's the only way I know.
Yep.
I don't know. Like it was. I didn't feel like it was something special. It's what we do.
Yeah, and let me reiterate something.
It was so taboo. Like, hey, can you take my wife home with you?
Let me reiterate something. I had a preach at Pastor Jose's church, and I'm sitting down. And in fact, it was for your birthday. And it was a hot day. And First Lady's patting them down and so forth. And listen, I think I'm in the pulpit. I'm looking at my wife. I'm like, and she's looking at me like, plus, yeah. Whatever. We ain't starting it now after 26 years.
Hey. Your wife grew up in LA, then.
Pretty much, Jose. You got it.
Go ahead. Oh, like look,
Yeah.
look.
My
You've
wife
been,
was
used to
playing.
it. You've been used to me not doing it. Keep it on, keep it rolling.
Look, sorry, I'm not picking out boogers.
Yeah, not picking out boogers. Look, she has her limitations.
She's
Oh my
done it
God.
for me before. Don't let her play. She's
That
done
in
it.
particular, I'd be like, "What's wrong with your hands?"
Here's a napkin. Look, here's a napkin.
No, actually, I have a question. This is be good. Being the age you're at, would you find yourself a more modern woman or traditional or mixture? What does that look like
That's
to a husband that you pretty much a potential husband?
I would say I am a mixture. Just because I do tend to have some old lady tendencies.
like what?
Wait a minute. Just be old ladies' tendencies.
When it comes to the tradition part,
Like what, Ashley? Like what? Give us examples.
Say tradition. Don't say old lady. Jesus.
Because I think about my grandmother and
Okay.
I just, I think about how she was, but I would say it's a mixture because of so many different influences that I had as far as wives go. My grandmother, she was from the South, but she came out here. She did everything she had to do, whatever the case may be. But then I also had Precious, and I did watch her just, cater, not even just to Pastor Hosea, but even just her kids, just cater to every little thing that they did. And for me, I was like, I wish I had one of those. But then I had to realize, I have to become that person that I wish that I have. So it's like it's a mixture of different,
Right. It's interesting that you would bring that up because one of the things, Pastor, you taught me, because same with me is both. But one of the things I've always done, I got used to, was just doing stuff for myself because I've been by myself for so long. So, I gotten used to getting out the car without the guy opening up the car door, picking up boxes. And I remember Pastor Hosea was like, gave me the story with Precious, was just like, let the guy be a guy. Meaning if he offers, even though, I can carry the boxes, but if he offers to take the boxes, to give it to him. I was not doing that. I'm like, oh, I got it. I would always be like, I got it. Not understanding the male-female role per se.
Yeah.
So I had to learn all of that and how to allow a guy to court me and to just do just gentlemanly things, which a lot of people have gotten away from. So that's interesting. You brought up, and he gave me a couple of the Precious stories. Like, I know I could do this, but if he offers, just let him do it. Let him, like as Janine would say, let him spread his a peacock or whatever she would say, spread his feathers out. I don't understand it. We don't understand it as women. Like,
I'm gonna tell you straight up.
I had to learn that too, though. I really did have to learn that, but it came with time. And I was just sharing with Pastor Jose the other day. We were in the meeting, and the first time I seen this clip on Instagram, and it was basically, the guy was like, for a man, when they go through trauma as men, it causes them to be more masculine. When women go through trauma, it causes them to be more masculine. But it only works in the man's favor, right? Because when a man becomes more masculine, he's more attractive. But if a woman becomes more masculine, then it's not considered, men are not checked.
Right.
And so that's something I had to learn even about myself, because I was like, I never heard that before.
I didn't either, girl.
Yeah, so it blew my mind. I'm like, wow. So I'm still learning and paying attention to little stuff here and there, but I'm like, man, had he never said that, it never even crossed my mind like that.
And just on that note,
wow.
One of the key things when men are vulnerable in that level where you see them not as masculine because they're going through trauma, the hardest thing for a lot of people to do is not to kick them down even further.
Right.
Because they're not in their fullest masculinity at that moment. They're being very vulnerable. And ladies, if you're going to be in a solid relationship, the worst thing you can do is out him while he's vulnerable. He'll never trust you again.
Yeah, that's
you mean by out him. What do you mean, Rick, by out him?
Example.
It literally, when you say out him, pretty much like put him down or say, what's wrong with you?
He was crying like a baby last night.
Like a little pup. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Once you start doing that in any relationship, he will never trust you again
So is that like a deal breaker? Is what you're saying?
A big, absolutely, for a lot of guys,
the
because
way he'll view you. He's gonna hide his heart like that.
Yeah.
Like with men, when men say I can't trust you, usually when a woman uses the word trust, she's
Right.
talking about infidelity.
infidelity, right?
But a lot of times when a man's talking about I don't trust her like that, I don't trust you with my heart. I don't
Yeah.
trust you with my secrets.
Absolutely.
I don't trust you that you would keep this between us.
Yes.
Can a man wants to know, can he trust you? I remember one time, me and Precious, this was in the early stages of our dating. We'd probably been dating maybe a year or so. And we
Okay.
got really, really close. And me and her sister would always rank on each other. We would always talk about each other. No, we would always fight like cats and dogs. Me and her
Right.
sister.
Like play fighting or real fighting?
No, we gonna play fighting, but she low key didn't like some things about me, and I low key didn't like some things about her. But we'd always, go at each other.
Okay.
And one day, man, I got her good. Oh,
Okay.
I don't remember what I said, but I know I got her. Like, yeah, get
Right.
up off me. And she fired back
Yes.
with some stuff
Sir.
that she had no business
No,
knowing.
sir. No, sir.
Oh wow.
And I was like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
She's, yeah, now. Well, what? And I looked at, and Precious looked like she had seen a ghost. It was 2 years before I opened up to her again.
Oh wow.
It was 2 years. Like she never made that mistake again. But this was her, like in her defense, this was like, she was so in love with me. We'd fallen in love, this relationship, da da da. She, the people that's closest to you, you want to express yourself. But she shared it with her sister.
So let me ask you this: when you say share, so you know how women
something that was vulnerable for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay.
It was something that was vulnerable for me. So that was
men don't do that. Y'all don't share with each, because the reason why I bring that up
is your vulnerability.
No.
Okay.
Like I ain't got no business going telling the homie, because man, and when she was 12.
Right.
Happened to her, and you ain't exposed.
No, you're not sharing.
I'm sharing something, and then da da da, and then one day you and the homie, joking, playing around, and you hear that come out of his mouth.
Yep.
Oh, you must think I'm Mr. Willie.
Yep.
You're like, you know I'm Mr. Willie. What you told him, you can see how that can defy your trust.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh
wow. Wow, that's good.
No, but what I've just gathered, particularly because, and going back to what you were talking about earlier, Zandra, on how you personally, went to Pastor Jose, and it's like, allow a man to be a man.
Yeah.
Generation Xers, particularly the ladies, they weren't told to do that.
Right.
They said, yeah, no, you pretty much, you're independent, you get your career, you yada, 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 the whole 9 yards, and you can do it on your own. And now with that whole independent phase that pretty much in the 90s, what the young ladies went through, they went to college, got highly educated, the whole 9 yards. And men didn't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
And so when it came down to open the doors, if they didn't expect it, men wouldn't do it. But now we're pretty much having to turn in a corner where women are demanding that. It's like, they want to be feminine. They want to be, treated as a lady.
But this is after you didn't talk to men not to.
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah. And so and unfortunately, that's the dichotomy right now we have, the dilemma we have right now between the sexes, where no one knows their position.
Right.
And everyone you mentioned earlier, one is pretty much masculine, the other one's feminine. Yeah. Now we have a lot of feminine men because women were forced to be masculine, being a single mama, doing what they have to do. So men don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
And so you see a lot of craziness going on pretty much in our culture now because of it. And I'm sure Pastor Jose got some stories on that.
I have a question, because Ashley is the closest to that culture you're speaking of, Pastor Rick. Ashley, what would you say, in your opinion, is some of the major issues or problems that goes on with people dating in your generation and below?
That's good.
Something I just talked about was the masculinity thing. It's a lot of dudes that I would never even look in their direction, because I'm like, they're a little bit too soft. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Wow.
Around their grandmas and moms, and they they start yelling, they kind of sound like her. Like, hey,
Yeah.
that's a big, for me, it's a big turn off. I'm like, listen, if I'm more masculine than you are, ain't nothing going on with you. Nothing. And the fact that I even have to question which way you go,
right?
I don't want it. I don't want it at all. But
Right.
and
No,
this,
they need to get it together.
It may not be that they go the other way or whatever the case may be. It may just they haven't had any masculine.
Ashley, you just gave me some perspective, so help me on
Yeah.
this. You just opened another door of conversation for me. Could this be also part of the reason that a lot of young ladies in the generation we talk about end up being drawn more to the gangster type because it's the masculinity, not so much as saying I want a thug or a criminal. I'm just looking for masculinity.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's really the
truth.
Truth.
I've never considered that.
I never, at some point, I never considered in my brain that I would date anybody outside of the thug or gangbanging world. But as I got older, I realized it's really not that I don't. Somebody said, "Oh, you know," a lot of people tell me like, "Oh, I know your type. You like thugs." It's not that I like thugs. I just don't. I like my men to be very masculine. Like if you listen, I grew up very masculine myself, so I know how to change my tire, change my oil. I do stuff that a typical woman wouldn't do. But it's very upsetting if you run into a man and just the basic stuff that he don't have no knowledge of. It's upsetting. Like, why do I need you? Why do I, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to dating thugs or a gang member or whatever, the difference be we do feel some type of protection.
Yep.
You do feel that.
Yep, you do.
And it's like we crave that over
stability or
if in our brain we can do everything for ourselves, but it becomes a protection thing at some point, right? Like the only thing we really can't do is protect ourselves and our family. So it's like, so if you can't even be protection, I'm so sorry, sir.
This is true.
Ashley, you educating us, you know. And
no, for real. I've never considered that until this conversation of being one of the reasons. Like it makes perfect sense. I just hadn't thought about it like that. You know, was something I was in a conversation last week. I think it was it's been within the last 2 weeks. And I think I was the only male. I was the only male in the room. There was about 4 other females. And they were speaking, they got us talking about my church that I pastor, Calvary. And they said, I've never even thought about this. They said, like, for instance, like Pastor Hosea, like there's a lot of masculine men in this church. You have a lot of men in this church. You don't have a lot of feminine men in this church. And I never thought about it either way, but just the fact that the women picked up on that, something that I never paid attention to. It was them that said that to me. And then I had to think about, well, I said, yeah, you got a lot of men, you know, get into sports, like a lot of manly men. I was like, okay.
Go ahead, Jandra. Go ahead.
I was going to piggyback off of what something Ashley said when you said about the feminine man. I remember when I was at the mall, Fox Hills Mall, I believe, and this young guy asked me for jumper cables. And so, you know, he had a, you know, his car was dead. So I gave him the jumper cables and I sat back in the car and I started doing it. He was standing there like with the cables. And so I like, you don't know what to do. It was what I said because I embarrassed him. That wasn't, you know, I realized it afterwards. I did feel horrible. He should feel horrible too. I did.
Wrong person, Hosea.
All you gotta do is put
the wrong person, bro.
I know, but I did learn from that. And he was with his girl. But I just handed it to him.
Now he is a girl because you pretty much destroyed him.
I assume I know that. But
did his girl ask for your phone number?
They going on a blind date, Hosea.
Oh man, he was expecting me to do it.
Wow.
And I was like, and I heard his feelings, and I was like, well, I'll help y'all. He was like, never mind. I'll
Never mind. Never mind.
And that's what I'm saying, Pastor. A lot of stuff you're telling me, I said they really do, because that's
He should have called AAA.
Jose, right? You would be
they
better off.
But
Jose,
wait,
I can imagine that man's face.
I did. I heard him because I was like,
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
I didn't really, I did feel bad. I felt horrible because I really hurt him. He wore it, and I was like, okay, I'll do it, to the point where I said I'll do it, and he was like, never mind, I'll never mind. And I tried, y'all know I'm aggressive, so I tried. Pastor Dome, like, you making me feel even bad now.
You sure feel the boy's no longer a boy; he's a girl.
He ran up on the wrong one that day.
Note to self: don't ask Zandra for jumper cables. Got it.
I think that's crazy, but it probably happens more often than you think. It probably happens more often than you think. And the reason I say that is because the same men that's raised by their grandma and their mom, we raised by them too, and they didn't show us no slack. Like, they was harder on us than they were the boys. So when we run into these men, and we have more skills and things that we can do better than them, and then our grandma come out, because my mouth will get to flying too. Like, oh my gosh, you mean to tell me you like I?
Hey, let me ask this. See, because I believe y'all are telling the truth. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Why then do some of the women, I get it, a single mother, raise her son to be like that? Like, not hold him accountable, not like, why would you baby him if you know as a woman how you look at men that are soft?
Sure.
Why would you raise them soft?
Go ahead.
I think that they don't really look at it in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because in our nature, our job is to nurture, right? So just our nature, we're going to be nurturers. And the person who tends to be the greatest recipient and also feed us back what we feed them are the sons.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, we're going to nurture them. And because they love us so much, our brain only tells us to continue to nurture even more, even overload when it comes to nurturing.
And I've seen where this becomes, unfortunately, like, they're 40 years old living with their mama.
Yeah.
And they'll literally, we'll meet a girl, but they'll go live with their mama, his mama. And there are times I've seen also where he
never left home, married.
Pretty much. And
he never left home.
Yeah. He's married some way to his mother. And she's protecting that. That role that's a whole nother
because he has become her man.
Her husband.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I'm not saying no incest.
Right.
I'm saying psychologically.
Psychologically, absolutely.
He's
just like a lot of people in the church is married to Jesus. A lot of I heard Jennifer Lewis say that a lot of the black mothers of the church, they all married to Jesus.
Yeah,
Jesus is their husband, which is the truth. And going back to even a lot of the teachings, the old school teachings, and just how a lot of the newer age, which would include you, Pastor Jose, of course, coming in and doing a lot of the correcting, that's what you preach about a lot. The things that we were taught, which is why you have so many people in the church that's single. Yeah. Coming up in my generation, all of them is so many of us that, like you said, that got their degrees and stuff. I can't tell you how many women I know that are educated, no man, and then the man is this and the man is that. You have the other group of women who just want a piece of a man because they were raised to believe if you don't have a man, you're nothing. That's the South right there. The South is like, you don't have, like, I don't have children. You don't have kids.
Yeah, I know. Betty Wright taught him. I learned that having a piece of man is better than having no man at all. You understand what I'm saying? Hang if you can hang, no pain, no gain. In order to,
please don't do it.
Hey, questions about you. Okay, Ashley gave us the real revelation.
Yeah,
as it relates to why women would not tend to gravitate toward more of your gangster type, right?
I know the question, Hosea.
You professional corporate woman, educated. But what I'm saying, this is the part I'm getting to seriously. Even you having the type of a persona that you operate in, you've confessed how you too tend to prefer or desire rough around the edges a little bit, even though given you as a career woman, that wouldn't be assumed.
That is so true.
So speak to that.
In my case, it was my father, being raised by my father, a hardcore alpha male who taught me actually, like, he was the dominant man in the house. And so with my personality type, my mother was more of a passive person. So I remember saying, I ain't about to do what she doing. I remember saying that so like, I ain't about to, he can't get away, not understanding how that's why they stayed together forever. Right. And so right. I didn't know. I'm telling y'all, I didn't know because my mother would like how you like having the man just make him think he right. I just thought that was stupid. Like y'all pastor them will hear me talk about like that's just stupid. Men are just stupid.
Hold on, is this stupid now?
No, I understand it now. It's funny. It's funny now. Like I laugh with my girlfriends about it.
You understand it, but when you do,
you guys are
because of that, you had a mama and a daddy. Now you better
right.
Right.
But you guys are big babies, big children. And I'm like, just what is this? And I'm with you, Ashley. Like, Negro, if you don't get up, and I like with the feeding the guy, like I was raised with that. Like he can get up and get his own plate. And like my cousin with his grown, but he'd be sitting there, and then somebody gonna bring me a plate. If you don't get your own, but his mother, my aunt, would bring him a plate until she passed away, and he had seriously, y'all. And I'm not over exaggerating. If my niece is watching, she could okay it. My aunt used to give this man a plate until she died, and he would be sitting there hungry because when nobody bring him a plate, because when nobody going to do it. Now he has a girlfriend now. I think that probably brings him a plate. But my point in saying all of that is that I had to learn to walk in my feminine, Ashley. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't know that I came across as a hardcore. They were like, Zandra, you're so hard. To me, I couldn't see it. I didn't understand it. I'm like, no, this is what I want, how I want it, and do it like I say do it. And my mindset was just like that. So I then, within the past, 5-6 years, I had to soften my voice. And as you guys know, being here with my father who has dementia, it's been a even more of a training ground because in his sickness, he's even said, you just hard. Because like I'll be brushing his hair, like you hard brushing my hair. You like everything I'll do is just hard, right? He was like, if he wasn't sick, he would never say that. So he was like, you need to soften up and you'll get more out of me if you just soften up. He literally would say that. And as a revelation, like, okay, so I have to soften my voice. I brush his hair soft and I talk to him like, hey, you want this? And that. It's a complete 180.
Yeah.
See how simple we are?
Just all I had to do was just bring it down. And I get whatever I want and no problems with him and I'll just bring it down.
True.
So I didn't know. I didn't know.
All right, I got a question for Ashley. Because I know we're running out of time, but I want to hear this. Okay, Ashley, if you had the opportunity to speak to all the men between 20 and 40, from 21 to 39, as it relates to a woman like you in early 30s, what they're missing, like what is it where's the disconnect? Like let them hear from the woman they may be seeking from 21 to 39. What's your words to them?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't give them no words because I feel like I'll just be honest. I feel like everybody is different, and that's what I noticed. Like you ever see people who you be like, dang, that person is fine, and that person he dating or she dating ain't. Like, how did they get together? What happens is people don't realize that a lot of times they on the same level internally, mentally. Like they speak the same language. So it's the outer appearance that we're looking at, but inside it's like that's really what determines who you're going to be with or whatever the case. So for me personally, that's why I said I wouldn't speak to every man because every man wouldn't need the same thing. But for me personally, I know for myself, I'm very shielded. I'm very shielded, right? So for myself, all I want is somebody to be real and genuine. Like, in today's society, we see a lot of men, and it's like, we got clout chasers, and they want to be this, and a lot of people don't know who they are, and
that's good, actually.
They betray a certain way, and they want to attract a certain type of person, but they can't because that's not who they are. Sure. So it's like, for myself, I wouldn't give nobody advice. I would say just be true to yourself, and sure. Explore what the things that you like, or because a lot of times we don't even know ourselves. It's a learning process. So do things that you like, and then what I'm saying, a lot of times we have that mindset of what we think the perfect picture should be or how our life should go, sure. And we base that upon other people's dreams and whatever the case may be. But a lot of times, just because it worked out that way for them, don't mean it's going to work out that way for you. So for me, I know I need a very patient man. Yeah, he gonna have to know the Lord, because I don't know if he don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just I wouldn't give anybody too much advice in that department. I would just say be true to who you are and find yourself.
Ashley, do you find yourself in your dating life? Are you dating more men your age, younger, or older? Okay.
I've always dated older men. I've never dated anybody my age. I'm lying. I wouldn't say that. It's been seldom that I ever date anybody my age, and I normally don't go back younger.
Yes, Lord. Oh, this has been so good.
So, like for myself, women tend to mature faster than men.
Absolutely, so, they do.
Aside 4 years. But even aside from that, whatever I had to go through to grow up faster, then that adds another level to it. So for me, I've always dated an older man, because normally the men my age, I don't know what they be on, and I don't have time for it.
That's good.
This is very insightful. I learned a lot today.
I did too. This has been very good.
I learned that Ashley loves gangsters. So if you know the gangster OG, you could be a Crip or a Blood or a Vato. I don't know.
As long as you true to yourself, homie.
As long as you true to yourself, bro.
Listen, at this point, he better be a gangster for God. That's all. Come on now.
Come on now. Crippin' for Jesus. Go ahead.
Crippin' for Jesus. Crippin' for Christ.
Crippin' for Christ. There you go.
They got some more. They got some converts.
Oh, you gotta be a blood washed in the blood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. A blood washed blood.
When he does his shout, he Crip walk. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
Ashley made a valid point though with the protection though, and that is a reason we like a man, and it happens to be those type of men, but just it's the protection. Like I want to know that if if something jump down, and he not gonna run, because a lot of these guys do run or don't let. And
we talked about this too, Zandra. Sometimes don't be fooled by the persona, because sometimes those loud wagons are empty.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's silent one. You over there thinking he a nerd? That joker got 4 AR-15s in his closet.
Jeffrey Dahmer has nothing on him.
That's right. So dig a little deeper to see who the protector is.
Please do.
Because he's walking loud, don't mean he got no bite.
I got you. That's the truth.
Actually, I have a question before we leave here. Do you find yourself coming back and going on a date on ships again, on a blind date?
Good question.
Will you find yourself doing that?
Fun, because I'm learning a lot about me, so I'm having fun.
So y'all heard it first right here. So Zandra, what's that email? If they interested, we can't promise you that you're gonna get a shot, but we can promise you won't if you don't try.
Right, you gotta try. Gotta try.
Zandra Esselstyn-Wilson at yahoo.com. Hit me up so we can hook it up. And we
it's an age limit.
Oh no, we gonna vet them. Don't trip. We gonna vet them, as we ain't gonna just send you out. They gotta pass our vetting stage first.
Right. Yeah. And it's all the squad, including Janine.
We're gonna interview them from the C block. Don't worry about it. We got it.
Doing all the background. We're not sending no man. That's the one good thing, guys, when you date with the ship squad, it's familiarity, and we're doing background. It won't be someone that don't nobody know. And some of the best dates are people that you know, like just is a friend of a friend of a friend, or and at least we know what we're bringing. But guys, hit me up, Zandra S. Wilson at yahoo.com. Again, also in the link inside of the bio section on our YouTube page, or the information section on our YouTube page for Better Flies Entertainment, which is where you guys should be watching this podcast, there's a link where our Google doc, where you can click on there and fill out all the information as well. If you just want to be a guest on here, maybe there's something you want to talk about. Maybe you guys have a special topic. We got our message in a bottle. Send your message in a bottle. Maybe you want to be a live guest for message in a bottle, which we really would love that. We want to bring you on. We promise we're not going to embarrass you or interrogate you. We're just really here just to help and encourage and to help you get to the next level.
Amen.
So we're going to have stories on this show, and I'm going to be one of them, y'all. I'm the only person, but I'm gonna be a success story. They can't talk about me no more.
All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I have
all right, guys.
Have a wonderful night. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Ashley.